Good day, good day.
Hello, hello, Grand Rising.
Good morning, Grand Rising Divine Beings. Welcome to another day on Mothership Earth. All together as one.
Yay.
We appreciate your existence. We appreciate your beautiful expression. And we appreciate your love. We thanks love for you and all you are and all you do. May you be blessed.
Yes.
What an amazing adventure we had.
Oh, yes.
We wanted to update you guys on, since our last update, as you can see, we're in a new place already.
Yeah.
We had finished our commitment to the last place, and now we are receiving the blessings of this place here. We're still in Oregon. We're now in Salem.
Which means the city of peace.
Salem is the city of peace.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing the peace in it. We're surrounded in trees. There's beautiful view of trees and trees.
Oh my gosh.
Like in the forest house kind of thing. So it's super magical.
We're staying with my friend Mary and Fred, and I've known Mary for over 20 years. So we go way back, and we had the opportunity to come and stay with them in our last process, and it's been super magical. They've welcomed us with so much love, and allowing just, here's this if you need, this if you need, just so blessed to be here and so honored.
Full graciousness, full welcoming. We receive such an amazing welcome every day, pretty much. Super grateful, lots of gratitude back and forth for each other's existence.
Two of the most beautiful souls that I know, and it's been such an honor to be here. So we're very, very grateful.
Yep. So we have our plane tickets and our destination for our next place we're going to live. We are going to go pretty much to the opposite side of the world down there, supposedly. It's a globe, and down there is where we're going. We're going to the other side of the world, other hemisphere, and we're going to the southern hemisphere. I've never been below the equator, so it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to watching the toilets spin the opposite direction as here.
David told me that today. I was like, what?
I saw it on The Simpsons at first, so it must be true. They went to Australia and the toilet spun the other way, but at the U.S. Embassy they had a special machine that made it spin the right way so that people could feel at home. Right way, wrong way, up way, down way, clockwise, counterclockwise. The difference, I guess, depending on what side of the hemisphere you're on. Supposedly, up here in the northern hemisphere, all the water spirals and vortexes down in a clockwise motion, and supposedly down there, does it in a counterclockwise motion. So I'm excited to see that and learn that. Really excited to see some of the old buildings on the island. We're gonna go tomorrow and see some of the old buildings here in Salem. I got to see the old buildings in San Francisco, one of the oldest ones we went and checked out, what they say is the oldest building. And I did some flute
the Dolores
in there.
Mission.
And we took some videos and some pictures of the Dolores Mission. And so you can see some of those on our videos on our YouTube page, and some of them on my Facebook. And so we're sharing that. I really love those old buildings. They were made for frequency, sound, and vibration. So playing my flute in there just radiates such amazing beauty. My voice just resonates so amazing in there. And I really love that ancient architecture that somebody claimed that was a lot newer than what it appears like and believes. Been doing lots of research, understanding history and learning more about the hidden histories that have been kept from us, and more information is coming out. We're in the information age, so we have a connection to everything. We can see pictures all over the world. We can listen to people's theories all over, and so having an open mind is
and asking questions.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Doubt is such an amazing, powerful tool. It helps us to ask questions. It helps us to see outside of our own mind. It's really amazing and important. So if you have any doubts or questions, beautiful.
Yes, yay! Because we've been taught not to question, not to just, this is how it is, this is how it is. Well, I saw a picture of this, temple that was built supposedly back in the day, and they had a little observatory right next to it. And you could tell the architecture was not even close to the same, like, it was almost laughable. And
to say that the people that built that
the observatory built the
huge
temple.
one.
Yeah, I was like, that really doesn't make sense.
A lot of the history doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So questioning, what we were told and what the story is, it might not be the real story. So having that mind to say, why is this and how could that be, is really important during these times. Otherwise, if you have, the saying, a closed mind is the most expensive thing you can own. It's true. A mind doesn't work if it's not open. If you think you know and you've been taught, this certain way, and you are so rooted in those beliefs, these are the times that you will possibly go crazy if you're so deeply rooted in what you believe and not open to being wrong. It's going to be tough times for those people with a closed mind.
We have the times right now of the access to tons of information and a lot of these old paradigms of these ways that they said history was and the ways that they said time is and dates are and places are and people were,
even the
calendars,
everything.
Everything that they say that we've been given, this whole narrative that we've been given may not be correct. And so it's good to ask questions, and I think a lot of it's coming out. There's lots more theories on all sorts of things, and I love entertaining different theories and seeing what resonates. Yeah. So be open to openness, to learning. We're not here to tell you anything that we believe, because belief is a doubt, and so we'll share with you some of what we know of our personal truths, and really we encourage you to figure it out yourself.
Yeah. That's the key. Don't rely on others. The kingdom of heaven is within. We get our best answers inside. If you're relying on other people to tell you things, you're saying that you don't trust yourself.
You're giving up your power. And so there's different ways of getting answers for yourself. I use a pendulum, and I've been practicing with that. I have shared a video on that to show people how I use my pendulum. Kimberly has a body technique where she moves and asks questions,
or a muscle technique. You can ask yes or no if just by putting two fingers together and two in the middle. If you ask a question, and it really, you have to be mindful in how you ask these questions.
And we'll make some more videos on this technique to help express it more, to help show you the.
But your body will tell you a no, or if it holds strong, it's a yes, and if it just comes apart easily, it's a no.
And so with the pendulum, I ask yes, no, all these questions that I know the answer or not, and to see, show me yes, show me no. So she just, show me yes, show me no. Yeah. Is my hair purple? Is my name Sam? Is my shirt brown? Is my shirt blue? And learning it, and learning its connection, learning its answers.
And then when you start doing that, then you learn to trust yourself and your intuition more. And then there comes a time when you don't need anything outside of you, because you just have this inner knowing and trust that you have the answer and that your initial intuition is going to be right. I found that on my path, the times when I question myself and I go, oh, why would I think that? Something that maybe doesn't make sense. My higher self sees the bigger picture, and there might be something that I come across that I question, or I don't know, just that happened to me even recently. I was going to buy something, and I thought I questioned, doubted, and decided not to, and then I realized with the bigger picture why I had had that initial intuition, and I was like, dang it, I should have listened to myself. My higher self saw a bigger picture that I didn't see at the time. So just really honoring that teacher within within each of us. That's your best guru, is yourself, not something or anyone outside of you.
And we're learning all sorts of amazing stuff. We're studying all sorts of different things, and we'll be sharing, making courses at our next stop and teaching what we're learning. Teaching things like breath techniques, and we're also going to be learning Sanskrit on a whole nother level. So we'll actually be teaching Sanskrit. We're going to build a course online so people can check that out.
We'll also be teaching a complete detox. So as many of you know, that David and I have been on this path of learning sacred medicines. You know, we spent a year in Mexico learning the Cambo and Bufo. We've spent several years going through our initiation process with ayahuasca, a couple years doing that. And on our path recently, we had scheduled a ceremony, and it just, you know, we had some people that were interested, but it just seemed like it just wasn't. You know, one of them got a physical condition that was preventing them from being able to, you know, fully commit to the ceremony, and I felt the energy, and I could tell that we were just getting this block, and I'm like, well, we have this medicine and we can utilize it before we go, but we were getting a different answer from the universe, like, no, this is not the time. And so David, he decided, he had so many amazing things, like this leather medicine bag that we'd bought in Mexico, his rattle that he'd been using since his, you know, sweat lodge days, our Hape medicine tools, our Hape medicine, all of these things. David,
feathers, claws, and tails that I collected over the years as medicine that I had been gifted or received from the animals or received from harvest. None of them were animals that I killed and stuff like that. But then the animal medicine, I see not a need to carry anymore. I don't really want to promote that carrying of the animal medicine anymore. You know, even though like the feathers, some of the feathers that I had were fallen on my path and given to me that way, and I may pick up some feathers again someday. But I didn't want people to go, ooh, like nice feathers, I want feathers, and then them want to go get feathers. So we're learning the depths of unconditional love for self and unconditional love for all. And as we build our non-for-profit and build our Love Temple Church, we're writing a doctrine of unconditional love and how to practice unconditional love and what unconditional love means and what love means to us. And so we're working on writing out that doctrine. And one of the things of that is also the law of ahimsa, the law of nonviolence. And so any of that medicine, that leather bag from Mexico could have came from a cow that was not taken care of the best way or not taken out the best way. And I don't want to hold any of that karma with me. I don't want to eat those animals either and receive that. I don't want to cause harm. I'm sure that it's absolutely impossible to walk through this earth without causing some bit of harm to some creature or thing. But, you know, we strive for perfection. We strive for perfection even though nothing is truly perfect.
Yeah. So that's where our hearts are at this time. We feel like on our path, it's showing us that we are the medicine, that we don't need anything outside of us to heal us. You know?
Don't need the rattle, don't need the feathers. I can do the same thing with the feathers. I can do the same things with the rattle. It's the intention, it's the power of the heart behind it all. It's the power of the mind and the heart together and the intention that all those outside things are not needed. I don't need to go to a crystal store and buy 27 different crystals for every little different thing, organ, chakra, muscle. We are all that. We are one with Mother Earth. We are on Mother Earth as one. We are one
connected
with all of that. We are
everything.
connected to everything all the time. So how is all of that medicine and magic of everything not in us?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. So we're like integrating that and that process of being the medicine instead of feeling like, oh, we're here to serve the medicine. No, we are the medicine now.
And for those that don't have access to the medicine, either a feather or a rattle or some ayahuasca, like that's striving and wanting for something that they don't have, and that's showing lacking. And we want to teach that you have all that within inside yourself. We all have everything that we need to heal. We all have everything we need to detox. We are remembering this knowledge and realizing this knowledge and being reminded of this knowledge, and we're practicing it so we can teach it. We are practicing the way we eat. We are practicing the way that we think. We're practicing the way that we talk. And we would love to continue to share that with the people, showing people that we have all that. We've just been covered by this icky veil of guck that wants us all to forget and not remember, and to count everything, and to be stoked on the materials of things. And even this altar here has been shrunk down from huge, and we're still giving most of this away.
Yeah, this bowl, we had a big container that we were going to bring. This has been David's, like, he opens love portals with this bowl. This is like his, one love that he's just kept always.
It's the F sharp, which is the heart, which is my birthday, which is my flute.
Yeah. We had one that was a crown chakra that was this big, and we gave it to our last teacher in Mexico. But this is the one that would always be with David, and we were going to take it with us to Mauritius. And then he all of a sudden he came and he said, "You know what? I don't think that we need to take this big container. We will have everything we need."
Always.
So we're downsizing to just suitcases, not even a container to take our bowl and drum, none of that.
And I had the vision to go almost with just the clothes on my back and have absolutely no luggage, and really knowing that we are divinely protected and guided, and that we will always have exactly what we need. And we're still know that we don't need to go that far right now. We've been downsizing and downsizing over the last few years, and we know we don't need to drop down that low yet. I have this rattle, which was a gourd that was from the temple in Milwaukee before we built the temple. This was a gourd that was laying on the ground. I picked this up off the ground. So this is my new rattle. My other rattle was gifted to me from an eagle dancer, one of the sun dancers. He was an eagle dancer, so he didn't get unhooked at night to go to sleep. He had to stay up. His prayer was to stay up to pray for us all night and all day. And he gave me his rattle that he had, and it was super amazing, but it was made out of a hide. It was made out of some animal. And I didn't feel that was the best for me to have, and it might not have been the best treating of that animal, and I didn't want to inspire other people to get a leather rattle made out of an animal. And so this is just natural. It sounds beautiful, so I've downsized to just this. And if it makes it to Mauritius or it crushes, it doesn't matter. I'll have seeds, I'll have memory. I can myself, I can make a rattle out of anything. Like, we don't really need anything. We are all the medicine. We all are the magic. We all have all that we need inside of us. And the knowledge is there, but it's so lost in a lot of us that we're being able to decipher and pick some of it out to help share. We've been learning so much over all these years, and we'd love to share and teach how you can do it yourself. We're just here to teach. If not, we're just examples. We're just being the best that we can be. Whether you want to ask us for help or not, we're doing it with the love of our heart for everybody and everything. We became Reiki masters and studied all of that, and realizing that even that is an outward push of things that we don't really need to do. In a way, all is whole, complete, and perfect all the time. And realizing and understanding that is such a release and such a relief of, I don't have to do things. I could just be. And just being love is one of the most healing things we could do for all of us. And sitting in that unconditional love and that non-harm and living in this way more and more possible. We're going through our detox plan that we have of diet and enemas for 7 days. And then from there we're switching to raw food, raw vegan style. Going towards fruitarian of just eating fruit and vegetables at one point, and going towards liquidarian at one point.
And that's challenging when
It's a
you
practice.
live in a climate that is cold. I don't think, we are going somewhere where it's warm year round.
We don't need hot drinks or hot food at
So
that point.
it gives us the ability to shift and transition in a good way. We didn't even try it in the cold because it was just too challenging. So if you're in the cold, I would. Obviously, anyone can do anything. We're infinite, eternal beings, and there's limitless possibilities of what humans can do.
And so we've been practicing eating cooked and not cooked, and feeling the difference in our body and stuff. And we've been practicing that along the way. And once we get to that full detox, and once we get on a level of our body getting back to its original purpose of being a fruitarian, where our bodies are made for us to eat fruit. Our teeth, our ingestion is all made for us to eat fruit. And once our stomach balances out with the fruit and the right enzymes are in there, there's a point where we could go into the cold and not even
experience cold.
Experience it. We can go into the heat and not experience, because our body is on a different level and a different connection. So when we feel, we will not be feeling cold anymore. When our body would get cold, the inner heat is inside, and that's been blocked by so much crap and junk that we've been consumerized and propagandized to eat like.
Well, and not just that. I mean, the putting of fluoride in our waters and all those things, that calcifies the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the seat of the soul. And
the poison in all the ingredients.
When it's calcified, it makes it so you cannot connect to your high self. So we've been going through this process of detoxing, decalcifying, all these things so that we can connect to our high self. And I'm feeling the difference energetically. We've been doing a lot of work pulling, your pineal gland drips a substance down into your body. And when you learn how to pull it back up, you have the central tube in your spine. And when your chakras are cleared and you can pull that energy up and cycle it back down, I start feeling these energetic things like I am in the medicine when we're doing that breath work. David's really helped me. He's got some amazing techniques on what he does to breathe but still stay in a relaxed state and pulling that energy around. It's been really magical. So we're realizing more and more that, and I don't regret the path that we've taken. All these plant medicines and experiences have been super wonderful and amazing.
It showed us the way, and it showed us to help us understand ourselves more.
Yeah, and it showed us that we don't need anything outside of ourselves. That all we need to do is learn these energy techniques of pulling what is already innately in our bodies, that God gifted us with these energies, and learning to pull them and recycle them with our breath.
Studying the Tao and studying different meditation techniques and studying different masters and learning the techniques and coming up with our own in a ways of how it works for us. I've studied a whole lot of different breath work, and within that I have found the technique that works the best for me. I've studied a lot of yoga, and within that I've found David yoga. I found what worked out the best for me, which became Earth Hug yoga. And so I have a book now out on Earth Hug yoga, which is just the first edition, so I can get it in my hands and add more to it. And I'm going to be putting pictures in it and things like that, sharing what I've learned and what works for me. So you're able to pick up all sorts of different techniques and see what fits the most for you, know. And we're not here to tell anybody to do anything. We're here to learn what works out best for us, and we're so open and welcome to sharing with anybody who's interested.
And speaking of the medicines, we do have everything we need inside of us, but sometimes the medicines are just that little extra, quick help. I've been processing something. I've been releasing some emotions. I had held on to some guilt for a couple years.
She was grieving because of that guilt.
Yeah, of something that I had done. And it wasn't like a horrible thing, but it was something that I knew in my heart that if David did it to me, that I would have been hurt. And so I held on to that. Like, I rationalized it in my mind. Like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't need to say anything. Just let it go, Kim. Let it go. You need to just release this thought. But it kept resurfacing. For whatever reason, my subconscious would not just allow it to release. So I had to finally have the conversation with David and said, this is what I did. And, you know, I am so sorry, because I know if you would have done that, I would have been hurt. And he forgave me immediately. I built it up in my mind that he was going to have this bad reaction or whatever, and he didn't. And it was all just in my head of, you know, and what I realized is holding on to that for those years was causing me to have other things in my life that I would react to, because that guilt, shame, those emotions that you're hanging on to, it's going to prevent you from completely aligning with all of your energy centers, for one. And it's also going to keep you in a state of not being able to love yourself completely because of those lower emotions. And in that state, hurt people, healed people, heal people. And so in that state, you are not even on a conscious level, but doing things in more of a reaction versus responding mode.
And where we're at now in this day and age, there's so much propaganda. There's so many videos and music and TV and movies of things that aren't the best for us, of distractions and helping us to see that the world isn't the way we think it is. Like, it shows us how we're not supposed to be, and the mind doesn't know the difference of seeing somebody experiencing something or experiencing it ourselves. Our body doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
And so it's very important what we surround ourselves with, what we're listening to on a constant, what we're saying. If you're listening to music that's downer music, that's talking about downer things, then how are you not manifesting that subconsciously in your life?
Yeah, it's going to get programmed.
Music that is positive and positive things, then you're stirring that up in your life. A lot of the reggae is supposedly positive, but a lot of it is about being trodden on and downward and pushed and oppression and great, sing it. You're manifesting more of that. Find the words that truly resonate. Remove yourself from the mainstream media and stuff. Remove yourself from that. It's better to sit in silence than to listen to crap. It's better to famine. It's better to fast rather than eat the crap that's out there. You know, if you're eating McDonald's every single day, it's better for you to just take a whole day off and not eat McDonald's. It's way better for you than to continue that process. Try it out. Take a fast. Try eating just oranges a day, or try eating just a certain kind of fruit a day. Try eating just a carrots. Look into it. Do some research. Look at all views of the research of what you're intaking, what you put in your environment, and what you're intaking affects you so much. And the choice is yours. You have the freedom, free will.
When I see people that their bodies are acting out in disease and disorder, I watch, what they put into their mouths, and often it's not on a conscious level. They don't understand what they're eating because that's what we've been fed. That's normal, right? For so long time. But these things are causing our bodies to break down faster and act out in disease and disorder, and they don't correlate that it's what they're eating
But there's a pill for that by the same company that makes the poison that they put in the food. They make a pill for that. So you can continue on that process, or you can get out into nature and learn how to pick the pine nuts off the ground, or learn to process the acorns, or learn to eat the grass. There's wild lettuce all over this place. Look up wild lettuce and start looking in your neighborhoods and find out who's spraying and where's not. And you can find wild lettuce all over the place. There's wild spinach. There's wild onions. There's wild
mushrooms.
Look up what you got in your neighborhood. Look up what you can grow. Look up what your local farmers are doing. Find your local farmers. Support them. Go give them some love and receive and see, what are you eating? Where does it come from? You're eating meat. If you're eating meat, where does it come from? Who's processing it? How's it processing it? How do they live? there's a difference that I noticed in cows. In Mexico, I had some cows that were living near us, and I would go talk to them. And then I also studied factory farming cows. The difference that I noticed was the tear stains, the tear lines. The cows in Mexico where we were at, they were just growing them to sell them. So I would hear the mamas cry when they separated the mamas and the baby while they're weaning it, and that's sad. But their tear lines were just a little stained, just a little bit. But if you look at factory farming, their tear stains and their tear lines go all the way down because they're always crying because they're not being treated right. Imagine if your family was put into that process and they had to live that way. So, nonviolence is one of the first rules. Is one of the most powerful rules is nonviolence. The best way we can live in this world is through nonviolence. And unconditional love for self and unconditional love for all. And nonviolence and not lying.
Yeah, honesty is so important. When you're lying to anyone, you're lying to yourself.
Even little lies.
There's no white lies.
Even exaggerations.
They create holes in our aura, and they harm us. And they disconnect us from being able to connect to Source Creator, that infinite field of potential. When we're not in alignment, then we are not able to connect to that. So being completely honest, even if it's, a lie of omission like I did when I didn't tell David everything, even because it was, I thought, oh, it's no big deal. I didn't really do anything wrong. Well, I did, because it was creating that guilt feeling in me. And once I released that and he forgave me, I can't even explain the energy shifts. My body is finally releasing some stuck stuff that it had held on to for years.
And emotionally, she's not as sensitive. She's not of like, why did you say that? Or why did you say it that way? Like, that is like gone now.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to watch
Yeah.
the shift and the change of her misinterpreting what I say, because now she's
I don't
had
take
this whole
anything
other
offensive
release.
now,
She's
yeah,
not
because I
taking
don't
it
have that guilt that I was
personal.
hanging on to, It was really super magical, and I saw it in my body. I did need a little bit of help because I had some stuck stuff like in my stomach. I'd felt some knots and there was some pain in there, and we had a little Cambo medicine, and so I asked David if he would give one more ceremony and help me to release. And after that, my eyes are still a little puffy, but I had this rash on my eye for months, like some red dots, and I was like, what is this? Because
we eat really good.
we eat pretty clean.
Most of the time.
I don't eat junk food. I look at all the labels, so I'm like, what is going on? I think it was connected with the guilt that I had stored in my body, and now that I have released that, and it's gone.
And then
it
the
started to
physical
dry up.
follows.
Yeah,
So
the physical follows.
as we heal the physical, the emotional follows. As we heal the emotional, the physical follows. They're so connected.
They're both
So when we
connected.
held something emotionally, we actually physically held that in our cells.
Yeah.
And as we release the emotion, now the physical can be released too. Now it's like, oh wow, that was there, and now that can go. And or else, a big emotional massage can loosen up a whole bunch and release it with the physical, and then maybe the next day or later, a lot of that emotional stuff that has been released will now come up to prove that it's being released, to prove that it is released, to continue the further of the letting the go of it.
And I feel like I want to say, don't judge yourself for these things. Don't guilt yourself more for the guilt that you had held on to, or that's not going to serve you.
Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. Like, yeah, I fucked up, and I told David, you know what? I've been hanging on to this. I apologized from my heart. He forgave me immediately.
That's a big power.
And then
superpower
he
of
told me, go look in the mirror and forgive yourself and give yourself some self-love. That's what he told me to do after I had told him, he said, go give yourself some love. And I did. And it was so amazing to have that radical forgiveness from my partner, and him to tell me, go give yourself some love now. And in doing all that, it's released so much in me. It's been so beautiful. So grateful for you.
It's my honor.
And so I just encourage everyone to do the same, because you're only hurting yourself when you're hanging on to these things. You know, speak your truth. Even if you think, I thought that David would be really upset with me. Speak your truth no matter what, because if you hang on to it, it's going to harm you. And in harming yourself, you're harming others, because then I was more sensitive to things he would say. I would get defensive quicker. Now that I've released it all,
arrows and fire at me.
Yeah, because I had that deep guilt that I was hanging on to. So it was my reactions. I would be like, and now
They're throwing knives.
yeah. Now he says he's not getting any arrows thrown at him now, because I've released that finally. So that this is me encouraging you. You will feel so much better. Release whatever it is that you need to. Speak your truth. Honor how you feel. Even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, it doesn't matter. Honor, if someone may speak your truth to people, come from your heart. You'll always be grateful and glad that you did, because the release, you're so much more. I feel like I'm more my authentic energy now,
Releasing that guk veil that wasn't her, removing those
Yeah.
things that are not us that we've been programmed into. And so in my Earth Hug Yoga series that is now available on Amazon, I have my smile scan technique and my big breath technique. The yoga series is a woo way, stretching without stretching. It's a relaxation into the stretch. And I discuss of how to scan your body and smile at it and heal yourself, and how to use the breath to stretch and to release those things. And our breath is so powerful. And the time that we spend with ourselves and sitting with ourselves, just breathing and smiling at ourselves and scanning ourselves, we can find some of those stuck things, and we can love them and release them and let them go from us. Mm-hmm. And I'm working on articulating this process into good words, and so I have my first edition out to help me get further on that. And if you end up picking it up, I'm going to be asking people to help me draw the drawings or take pictures of the poses, so that we can have a big collaboration of pictures and drawings in the book, and any help that anybody wants to input, we can put that into the book also.
Yeah, and I can tell you from him explaining things to me and helping me in my process, he knows what he's talking about. I was sitting there and he was telling me what to do and explaining it, and I experienced more energy flow than I did in these guided Joe Dispenza meditations. And I was like, wow, I'd been sitting with headphones every day with these guided meditations, and then after David's, I was like, all right, that's next level. It was really amazing. So I highly recommend, that. I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I don't think so. I know energy, and it was a huge shift for me when I just sat and listened to David.
And it's not something new that I've created. It's a collaboration of all that I've learned. There's all sorts of teachers and stuff out there. We all have this inner guidance. We all have this inner knowing. We were all taught this at one point in our soul's history. And so remembering, sitting in the quiet, getting all the distractions out, not listening to the radio or the TV or even
your phone,
or even
scrolling
gurus
on your phone.
or
Yeah.
teachers even. You are your biggest guru. You are your best
Yes.
teacher. Sitting in silence, sitting with yourself. And yes, I have some techniques that I could help guide you while you're in that process of sitting with yourself, to really opening your eyes to yourself and seeing yourself in another way, and smiling at yourself in all ways, in every way.
I'm going to look at the comments, see if there's anything we need to...
Thank you so much for joining. We love you all so much.
Love. All right. No comments, really. Just, okay, I couldn't see that far back, so...
So we're moving to Mauritius. We're going to be learning Sanskrit. We're studying Sanskrit. It's one of the oldest languages for that area, and we believe it goes back to even an ancient time. We believe that Sanskrit was actually used across the whole world at one point in a peaceful religion and tradition. I believe that we were given all these horrible languages to keep us separated. The Tower of Babel didn't happen quite so long ago. And English and Latin were made to not make sense to each other. All these languages were shattered and thrown apart so that we couldn't connect. And we're finding a really good common in the Sanskrit and the studying of that. So that's our next tests and studies. And the most amazing information I have found and studied about God, the most amazing written texts that make the most sense of that really resonates to what I know of God and what God is in the Rig Veda and the Vedas, the 4 original Vedas that were in Sanskrit, that were gifted to the Indus Valley, that they were gifted to the people of ancient India through the Druids, is what I've been finding, tracking the language and tracking the history, and I'm still have a lot to learn, and so we're taking that next step to learn Sanskrit deeper. We already have gone over the vowels and the consonants, and we're practicing that, and we're learning the next step will be learning how to put those together and get deeper into it. We're learning the sacred ceremonies of the original Vedas and learning the originals, and so that we can share that. We're going to be building courses online and sharing this information. We'll probably write some more books and sharing this with the people. You're going to be able to take our course in Sanskrit. We'll be able to teach you Sanskrit. We're learning from a Vedic priest, one of the most humble people that I've met, and he is a grammar scholar in Sanskrit, and so he wants us to teach.
And we'll be teaching and showing the process of doing this cleanse and how, different our bodies feel. And the I guess the most beautiful thing that I feel this is, we've done all these medicines, and there's always a donation or offering, when you go sit in ceremony. We can teach you this cleanse with this fast detox for free. You will not have to spend any money.
The cool thing about fasting is you don't need to spend money.
You'll actually be saving money because you won't be purchasing anything.
You don't need to buy the food. You don't need to buy air. It's already there.
So, after all of this, and I really thought Iboga was like the one thing that was going to heal everyone. But these Iboga retreats, they were like $3,000 to $5,000. Not many people have that kind of extra money floating around. So it seems like it's just, again, one of these things that only, certain people would be able to experience.
And it's super amazing, and it's super healing, and super detoxing.
But it's fasting.
We still need to do the inner work.
Yes.
The inner work is still needed. No matter all those medicines can help you. But if you're not doing the inner work, if you're not sitting in silence, if you're not looking at yourself, if you're not forgiving yourself, if you're not forgiving everyone, then, you're just having fun.
You're just, going to these ceremonies and having the experience, but not really shifting.
And people were telling us, breath work, you can do it all with breath work. It's like, no, these medicines are really amazing, they're really powerful, but we're seeing more and more that the way,
the fasting and breath
is the free way, the way that we all have, the way is the tools that we all have, that we can all do, and we're here to share and shine that. And we've gone super deep in these medicines to learn them and to serve them. We've gone into deeper than most people have gone into these medicines, taking more than most people would, so that we can experience and know how to teach and to show other people, and it's all showed us
that we don't need them.
We don't even need them. They helped us get to this point of realizing that. They helped us see a whole nother world and help us understand what we're understanding, but we don't need that, and so we're going from there. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. My phone is starting to heat up. I don't know if it's going to turn off. There's just so much love flowing through it. And so if it shuts off, we love you. But we'll talk about it more.
Even if it doesn't shut off, we love you unconditionally, always and forever.
Yes. So practice loving yourself unconditionally. We can help guide you with that too. Practice loving yourself without any conditions. Practice sitting in the silent. Practice skipping breakfast. Practice missing dinner. Practice taking a day of prayer for yourself, of not eating. Try it out. You know, if you pick up something, you're like, oh, I know this is crap. Practice not eating it. Procrastinate it. Put it away. Say goodbye to it. Or, you know, put it away for now and try it again in a few weeks and then see how you feel. You know, make the decisions yourself. Figure it out yourself. Practice yourself. We can teach practicing self-love.
It is your temple. Your body is your temple. And if it's not clean, then you will not be able to connect to your high self.
Are you loving yourself unconditionally by eating those things that you know are not good for yourself? Are you doing yourself good by eating something that you know is not good?
Yeah, someone told me, oh, it's not much. There's not much in there. Well, would you say, oh, it's just a little poison. It's okay. I mean, that's really what we're saying when we're saying, oh, there's just a little bit of that. You're basically saying, oh, I can put a little poison in my temple.
And the power of fasting, you know, if you can't afford good food, then take some fasts and save your money up and get some good food. So if you fast and have good food, it's better than just eating a bunch of crap food.
Yeah, it really is.
Eat less and have more energy.
Yes.
Then you sleep less and you have more energy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Practice it. Try it out. Yeah. It may take a little while. You might have to get over a hump or a line, you know, because after pouring ourselves full of so much guck all these years, it takes a lot to get it out. You can't just switch over just like that, because you still have to detox. And if you just switch over just like that, then your detox can be a lot more stronger and powerful. And you may need a practitioner to help you. You may need an expert. You may need some medicines. So, but practice it. Take it one at a time. Okay, I'm no longer going to eat this gum because it has aspartame in it, and I don't want to be messing with my heart. So stop buying that gum now, you know, and chew on a toothpick or a peanut or a pine nut or whatever.
Yeah, I used to be a
big
gum chewer. I just have totally released it altogether because all of the gums, they either had sugar and I'd get sweaters on my teeth, or they had all this, you know, chemicals that weren't good for me. So I just finally was like, yeah, right. I released it a long time ago. But, you know, I know when we have our things that we love, it can be challenging to release them. But there are almost always better substitutes, you know. If you're really attached, you know, I drank coffee for years and years and years, and we found some stuff in Mexico that was really similar, but it wasn't acidic, and it was caffeine free, so it didn't excite my
Copomo or something.
Copomo, yeah. But and I like cacao too, so I just would find things that would still give me that warm, you know, cozy feeling without the acidity and the caffeine that was harming my electromagnetic system. We are electromagnetic beings. We're mostly water, and so a lot of these things that have high amounts of acid in them, coffee, alcohol, meat, dairy, really harm our system, especially over time.
So, thanks, Levs. Being grateful for everything, being grateful for the path, loving ourselves more every day, thanking love for ourselves. You know, like, I stopped eating burgers for a month, and then I wanted to enjoy a burger, so I had a burger. And then I realized how my body didn't enjoy that burger, so then I didn't enjoy a burger again. It was like I lost the taste. It was no longer enjoyment. Then I would enjoy bean patties and enjoy some of the other burgers until I don't. And it's a practice, and I'm finding more and more what my body likes and what my body loves, and it's raw, organic, fresh. And I can't wait to be again in the tropical environment, to be able to pick the guavas from the trees and the avocados and just live off of that bountiful abundance that is live food.
Is life. Is life. Dead food is death. I mean, that it just
that
makes sense.
Simple.
It's that simple.
So what are you putting in? Are you putting in live or are you putting in death? What do you want? Life or death? Do you want to look like you're getting older? Then keep eating death. You want to look like you're getting younger? Then eat life.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You'd be amazed the difference in what the differences of those things do to your body. And we're not here to judge anybody. We're here to practice. We don't even want to judge ourselves. We want to unconditionally love ourselves and do what's best for ourselves. And and share that. Because once we can unconditionally love ourselves, then we can unconditionally love all. And as we do that, we're shifting this whole paradigm, this whole reality, this whole world shifts with our own love for ourselves.
Most definitely. One movie that we had watched recently, we don't watch many movies, but we had been told about Free Guy. And I think the parallels to our reality in that movie were really, well, funny, for one.
Yeah, it kind of shows the veil where we're covered in not seeing the true reality.
And then when they get the superheroes have the glasses, then they can see the real reality of everything.
But not even see the real true reality behind all that. That's just helping them see through the veil.
Yeah.
But they don't actually see the real world that's even hidden under that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a super amazing movie to help get you to think differently. And there's lots of many movies out there that do that. But most of the movies are programmed to make you think differently, as in you're not good enough, guilt, shame. You need to buy more to feel better.
Yeah.
And don't get stuck in that cycle. The less we have, the more we let go, the more that we gift, the freer and lighter we are.
Yeah.
Throwing all of that medicine in the fire, I was picking stones off of my back. And I'm so much lighter. I don't have to carry this now. I got to, and it was amazing. It was an amazing blessing, and it showed me the connection. It showed me the oneness. It showed me how to honor all animals. It showed me how to honor all life and to give respect to everything and honor it all. And I took that to a whole nother level by giving it up.
Yeah.
And realizing that I have all that within me.
And we just want you all to know that you have everything you need inside of you too. We're not anything special. You are another us.
We.
Anytime you see anyone that's doing something and you're like, oh, wow, that's amazing, that's another you. And you have that ability as well.
And your body doesn't even know the difference.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. The mirror neurons in our body, our cells, can't tell the difference if we're watching someone doing it or if we're doing it ourselves. So what are you watching?
Not just that. I also want to explain, there's a receptor in your brain that doesn't know if it's giving or receiving. So when you are venting, aka gossiping about others, there's a receptor in your brain that doesn't know if it's giving or receiving. So you're taking on all that negativity that you're speaking of about others. Your body's taking on as if you're speaking it to yourself.
Like I say, if you talk shit, it leaves a shitty taste in your mouth.
Yeah. So I know many people are addicted to venting and gossiping. And that's one thing that humanity, we must release.
Judgment,
Yes.
doubt. It's judgment and doubt.
Yeah. And it's shame. It's all the low frequency vibrations
that have been deeply programmed into us through schools, church, and media.
Yeah.
So what are you consuming? That's you. What do you want to be? Consume differently.
Yeah.
Love, 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 love.
If you guys need help on your path, you know that David and I we're in service to love, and we're happy to help if you reach out.
We are humble servants to each other because we know that we are each other, and we're humble servants to you as we have been for ourselves and for each other.
Yeah.
I want to end this with some thanks, loves mantras. As I learned through love, that love is all and all is love. So all is loves. And being gratitude and being in gratitude and being thankful for loves is super powerful. And so the mantra that came to me to share with humanity is thanks, loves. Is one of them, many of them. I'd love to continue to share. Thank you so much for your existence. Thanks, loves, thanks, loves,
Thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, thanks, loves, loves, thanks, 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 loves. We love you, love, 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 love. Grateful for your existence.
May you see all your gist, bliss, joy, and abundance wherever you go. May you be surrounded with smiles. May you change the world and light up the room as you do, wherever you go. Thank you for your existence. Thank you for your
We
love.
love you.
Mwah.